be kind of talking to myself a little bit, and then as we're going, I'll start to talk you up a bit and have you talk about what you're doing too. Okay.
All right, you could talk to me if you want. You don't have to talk to yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing that too. I'm saying though, like it's just like there's no one in here yet, so it's just like you and me for a spell, really.
Right, yeah.
And I have all sorts of construction going on upstairs too.
Oh, is that what I hear?
Yeah, I got. I don't know what tools are being used. So, and then I just had the stream on my phone too under my other account to make sure that it was working because I was so concerned I would be broadcasting this just to you and me and no one else. So,
Oh, okay. I'm gonna try and open it up as well. I got to get your channel up here.
Okay. And so.
Yep, there it is, live.
Okay. You still hear me okay?
I do.
Okay. 2 viewers, no one has said anything yet, so I don't know who's in here. Well, welcome those of you who are watching. My name is Jake Campbell, known as the Comic Book ASM Artist, and my guest today is Gary Shipman, and he's a really talented guy who's done a ton of work for all sorts of people, Disney, DC, Marvel, all of them. And he's working on a piece for the Bull for our Indiegogo that's about to reach its campaign closure on Sunday or I think it's like Sunday at 11:59 p.m. or something like that. So still no comments yet, but that's what we're doing. Gary is working on an incredible piece here, and I'll zoom it in on here so you can see it better, and I'll just be in the background. And Gary's doing his thing. This is his rough right here. So he's going to take this image and he's going to refine it and make it cleaner, even though I already think this looks terrific. But he's a very skilled guy, so he can do a lot of incredible things. So, and you can still hear me okay, Gary?
I can hear you very, very good.
Beautiful.
Hello, I'm Gary Shipman. I am the comic book artist who created Packins Land, and I'm doing this piece for my buddy here, Jake, for his Indiegogo campaign, Making Dreams Come True.
Yes, and I greatly appreciate it. This is like 29 years in the making, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it says I got 3 views. I still have no clue who's watching me, though, so that's kind of scary. They've usually had said something by now, so I don't know who's in here. So I guess they're just patiently waiting on the sidelines. So
I'm sharing it out on my social media as well.
Okay.
Because people are expecting me to go on my channel.
Right, exactly.
And they might be confused because we never announced it.
Well, you might be, yeah. And we might end up, I don't know, we might do a spillover or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
What does a spillover mean?
Well, we just like, we direct them to yours or something. Something might happen.
Yeah.
Because we definitely want to have the most people checking it out if we can. So it says we got 4 viewers. Still no one's saying anything. Who's there? Can you please tell me who's there? We'd love to know who's here. Are you here for Gary, or are you here for me, or are you here for both of us?
Or did you stumble in out of the cold?
Yes. The cold month of August.
It actually got a little bit cooler here where we are today.
It did. Well, what happens where I'm at, I still go to work in the morning pretty early and stuff, and it's usually super chilly. So yeah. I'll be rocking my hoodie for about 1 or 2/3 of the day, and then I'll peel it off. And my bus ride / half an hour walk home is usually pretty humid and sweaty. So, but it's always nice to have layers, especially here. We have quite a bit of rain and stuff, so it's nice to have a little something to counteract that. So
cool.
Yeah. So what have you been up to, Gary?
I finished working on the Comicsgate piece I was working on.
I know, I saw that. It looks awesome.
Oops, turn my light on. I just wanted to throw some background up there today
Mm-hmm.
and strengthen the burst of light around the feather.
Mm-hmm.
I think I also went in and did some on Lone Star here a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So just finished it up.
And you're doing you're selling the original that as well as prints, is that right, Gary?
Yeah, I had someone that was they had purchased it because as soon as I started drawing it, they said, "Oh, I want that piece," and they said that, "Can you hold it for me?" and
Mm-hmm.
the whole deal. And then they weren't able to do it, so now the piece is available again. So yeah, I'm doing the original and the prints are available.
Nice. Well, that's good. I got a buddy who's connected through Facebook with me. We know him as Keem on this channel. He says, "Hey, we are commenting, but you can't see them. So we're in the twilight zone now. So let me see.
Do we have to click on the little chat thing up there?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm
I
using.
see it.
You see what? You see
I see the
comments?
I see the chat. Uh,
Oh man, I guess I'm gonna have to. This is gonna be great. I have to pull it up on my phone. So,
and the
well,
worst possible is that I'm the one in control of the chat. I am
oh
horrible.
no.
Oh,
So here's what's happened, guys, is to do these hangouts, I can't do them on my phone. My phone is the only comfortable way I know how to do these streams. So, but for hangouts, you have to use a computer, or in my case, my wonderful new Pro Surface I got for my anniversary present for my wife. So that's, and I've had 1.5 million technical difficulties on here. So, and this is the first hangout I've ever done. So, of course, the keyboard for my Surface died as well. So I was trying to type in stuff and send Gary his invite, and I wasn't able to do that, and on and on and on. So,
I'm
but
actually encouraged that you're having so much trouble because I have a terrible time.
it's great. We always hear the whole thing. All the guys are like, "Oh, it's Boomergate. Everyone's confused by technology." And I'm 33 and I'm still right there with you guys. So being technically challenged knows no age limit apparently. So I'm gonna read these comments now. Sorry guys, but I'm looking for my phone, so it'll probably be maybe a 30-second or so delay between what's live and what's here. We got Keem is saying just started. Yes. Gary says hi. Keem says hello. Don't think he's getting out comments. Can't see my comments. Hi, Mango. How are you? Hello. Chester is here. Mango Bed says hi, Chester. I'll DM him, which is what Keem did. He saved the stream, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, so we have Chester, and then we have Anthony Rivers says not ASMR poop. I was hoping this was yelling ASMR. No, on Thursdays, I never do the ASMR. It's just literally, us all as fanboys talking about books or whatever. And it's just the time for me to be normal with everyone else. So we're all just normal together talking. So I'm not trying to put anyone to sleep or relax anyone. But that's what I typically do on my channels is, we'll read comics to help people sleep, and or I'll show off books that I've gotten or art books or other different things like that. Sometimes I draw. So,
I
but
thought that's what I did on my stream.
I mean, honestly, Gary, your stream is very relaxing, and you could probably dip into the ASMR pool a little bit.
I actually didn't know what it was until my wife said that name means, or those letters mean something. They do.
Yeah, it's a autonomous sensory meridian response. It's science talk for a head orgasm. So rather than sounding creepy, they changed it to initials and made it sound way more sophisticated, I guess. Yeah, because what it does is the experiences I always equate with people is like if you've ever had like someone scrape fingers on a blackboard, is that something that makes you get like goosebumps, Gary?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so our bodies have negative reactions to sound, so that's a prime example of that. But also, our bodies have positive reactions to sound, and that's where the ASMR comes in. Rather than the goosebumps on your body from something unpleasant, there are certain sounds that you might not know what they are, but they trigger a tingle in the back of your skull and down to your spine, and it kind of radiates back and forth. And that's what's known as the ASMR response. That's the autonomous sensory meridian response. So that's a tingle in your head as opposed to like an all over chill sort of a thing. So
Okay.
But and then like a common one, like a lot of people, like for me, my introduction inadvertently was watching Bob Ross as a kid. You know, he calmed me and helped put me to sleep and stuff. So a lot of people have had experience with that, where that's been something that's relaxed and calmed them. So some people watch it just to help them sleep or relax, even if they don't get that tingly feeling in the back of their neck. So that's what it is. So
Okay.
yeah.
I don't get a tingly feeling from like the whispering or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but Bob Ross did make me feel calm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the thing. Some of it could be like just a totally because like there's all sorts of different videos. Some of them are a lot weirder than others. Like there's just tons of, the world's filled with different sounds. So, you could just stumble on something, whether it's like someone like, sorting through shells and like sand in a bucket or whatever. That could just be a random sound that could trigger that sensation, but you would have no clue if you're not like watching the videos and just trying to figure out what makes that response happen for you, type of a thing. So
Right.
there's like the relaxing side, and then it's just like, oh, I guess the sound actually does something for me. It's like a surprise type of a thing.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, and a lot of people are weirded out by it. It's a fairly newer thing they've been doing on YouTube since it started on YouTube. I want to say about 2011 or so, 2012, and they actually just put a Netflix documentary up where they're saying like the uploads the previous year we had like I think 5 million videos tagged with ASMR, and now it's up to like 10 million. So like people are really doubling down, and more people are making those type of videos and things like that.
Wow.
And me specifically, there's only like two or three others of us who make like comic book related content videos. Some other ASM artists, they will do all sorts of different videos, and then they'll maybe have like a random like comic book haul video, but then they'll do all sorts of different videos. But my channel is one of the only ones that is specifically devoted to comic book related content only. So that's my niche that I've carved out. So that's what I do.
Cool.
And the end of September will be the first official full year of me doing it, like with weekly uploads and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is interesting. It's funny that I'd never heard of it before until uh, I think today. We were looking at it today. I was like, oh, I had no idea.
Yeah. Well, I got to look back at the comments here. I was having so much fun talking about what this weird phenomenon is with you that I neglected my phone. So Keem says Gary's art is really good, and
Thank
Keem's
you,
a good
Keem.
guy. And he says, lol, yes, Keem, what has Gary done for DC and Marvel Comics?
What I have done for DC and Marvel is not directly through DC and Marvel, except it. Yeah, I guess it isn't directly through them. I did trading cards
Mm-hmm.
for DC. I did Batman and Superman, and it was the through Cryptozoic, is a,
Mm-hmm.
card company,
Yeah.
and they do sketch cards and the whole deal. So
Mm-hmm.
I did those, and when I got to do Superman and Batman, it basically just opens up that whole door because they
Oh,
give
yeah.
you a range of characters you can draw in the Superman world, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like basically all of DC.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
got to draw tons of stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's out there in wherever you get Cryptozoic cards. And then I did both Batman and Superman, two different sets. Let's see, what else did I do? I worked on Adventure Time through Cryptozoic. What else? When it comes to Marvel, I did some limited edition prints that were approved through Marvel, so they are like they come with a certificate of authenticity and all that kind of stuff. So and I did Spider Man, Hulk, and Captain America, and
Mm-hmm.
then that went away, and I
Mm-hmm.
started doing some Disney stuff because it was right at the time when Disney bought Marvel, and it was they were like skating this line to where they could get these prints out. They were on canvas and everything. They're really high quality prints, and I have a few of them. Um,
Mm-hmm.
my own artist proofs. But and I could show them if you want, but they're kind of put away. But that we caught in right under that line, that schedule where they were going to flip over to Disney. And so when I did that, I started doing the Disney stuff. Like I did Belle from Little Mermaid as a limited edition on canvas, signed and numbered with a letter of authenticity. And then the Lucas stuff got pulled in, and so I did. I did Princess Leia, but it never got made into the print, but it was approved. And I
remember seeing that.
I have the original art for that still, but it never got made into the print, which I was really disappointed for. But I did get the Indiana Jones one done, and that was just that was totally awesome, because it's like I got to do one of the movies. It's just one of my favorites, and it's fun stuff. So there's other things. I've worked on a Star Trek parody book called Fun with Kirk and Spock, kind of making fun of. I didn't write it. I just did the illustrations, full color. So I've worked on a number of properties, indirectly, I guess you'd say.
Yeah. If you guys go to his Facebook, it's just Gary Shipman. Like, he's got like tons and tons of his work he's posted there, and then he also has he has a store and stuff as well. I don't know how to post that link to that. Hopefully, with the stream later, I'll probably come back to it and do it.
You can put like Chester's on right now. It looks like if you go over to his thing, you could make him a mediator on YouTube.
But I can't see Chester on like the group chat though. I can see it on my phone, but on the Hangouts, I can't see any of those guys to select him. So
let me do it. I can't do it because I'm not in control.
I don't know. It's our boomerism. Sorry, everyone. But yeah, let me keep going through here. Daddy. Hold on, buddy. I'm doing a stream right now. So William Reed says hello, hello, hello. Mango says, I don't get goosebumps or tingles. I just find ASMR vids relaxing and calming. Anthony says, use headphones. It helps. Humphrey Bear is in the house. Says, wow, I almost missed this. We're sorry, Humphrey. We wanted to coordinate this better, but in my head, I kind of had everything laid out, but I guess it wasn't really well orchestrated. So, but we're here now, so I guess that's all that matters. And then Chester says, what now?
It won't let me post links.
Yeah.
Either, so.
What I might be able to do is I might be able to back out and highlight things like in the descriptions of your previous videos and post it under my other alias on the stream, possibly. So I don't know. I might try that. I might not. But if not, later on, I will put everything in the description so you guys can have that. And that will post in probably 10 or 20 minutes. It'll be fully uploaded or something. Usually when you do a live stream, it goes up on YouTube pretty quick afterwards. So let's see here. Chester says, hello, Brother Bear. Humphrey says, hi, Chester. Humphrey, I did not know. He said Fairy, but I'm assuming he meant Gary, would be on another channel. That Gary. Keem says, dang. Anthony Rivers says, all right, y'all, take it easy. I got work in morning, night. So I'm assuming he's already checked out because it's 3 minutes after that comment. Denali is here. Say, yep, aloha, everyone. Nighthawk is here. He says, hi, Gary. Hi, everyone. Just looking on here. Good night, everyone. Man, they're all just popping off, huh? Marco808 says, Denali, aloha. Chester, yes. We got another aloha from Denali. Chester, I'm here. Found you all, says Bethany. How long have you had that headset? Keem, I just got this on Tuesday, so that's why I'm still in the dark for like the past 40 minutes. I've been freaking out because every time I would even do a test video, I wouldn't hear the audio, so I had no clue what was going on. And even when I had Gary in here, literally minutes before the stream, I was testing the headset to make sure he could hear me. So, but I got these. I got a bunch of Amazon gift cards, so I got I got this camera I'm using because the camera on the Surface is not very good at all. And then I got the headset as well. So, because I knew that I was having the stream coming up and I wanted to kind of up things for it and be prepared. So, let's see here. However, he says, cool. Gary, make sure the character is bull from the waist down. Wink. Yeah, he made an awkward joke. I drew a head sketch of the bull about 3 weeks ago. And he's like, is he the bull from the waist down too? So he's bringing that joke back. Denali says, you can mod someone and they can post the link in the chat while live stream. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do any of that right now, unfortunately. The best I can do is I'm going to go back and put the stuff in there once we have ended in the description. So just click alongside name. You can access me. Yeah, I can't do that on the device that the Hangout is on. I could do it on here, but it's not connected with the Hangout. It's weird. Keem says it's nice headset. Thank you, Keem. And he says nice. Denali says aloha. Chester Busby, how goes everything? So we're all caught up on chat now. So
Sweet.
I gotta re-highlight you. There we go. Every time I was talking, and it was pulling off of you. I wonder if I can. I'm sure I can lock it on you somehow. He's putting down much cleaner, smoother lines now on the piece. So you did some light boxing prior, right, Gary?
Yeah, I got it under here right now.
Oh yeah, so fancy. I'm not that advanced. My method is very haphazard, and I'm sure it shows. But that will get better in time.
Yeah, you just keep it up, keep trying new things, look at other things that how people do it, and you'll get there.
The main thing that blows me, have you ever heard stories about how Jack Kirby would just like turn out pages without doing layouts or anything like that?
Oh yeah, he was amazing.
Yeah, he would just literally have a blank sheet of paper and go from one corner to the other, and he would have a full page done. He wouldn't do all like the blue line layouts and all that. And people said, well, we noticed like you don't erase or anything. He'd say, well, they're paying me to draw. They're not paying me to erase. So that was his mindset, and he turned out a ton of pages because of that. So
yeah, he was amazing.
He really was. And it would have been his 101st birthday like the other day, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think so. I know it's somewhere in August, and I think I was seeing some people posting about it. So, but let me look back at the chat again. So yeah, I usually just do like Q&A and all that good stuff on the Thursdays here. So I'll read comments and kind of toss things around. There's not really any real structure to the Thursday. It's literally just a hangout sort of thing. I'm sure you guys can hear all the sawing going on upstairs, right? I know.
Anything.
You're not? Well, that's great. Can anyone else in the comments here? They probably can if you can. Hopefully, they're doing a lot of sawing. Let me see here. Let's see. Humphrey says Bull from Night Court. I know of Night Court, but I have never seen it. I know it's shocking. I have watched a lot of old television though, so, and I hear a lot of good things about Night Court. Have you ever watched Night Court, Gary?
If I did, it was when it was on.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Now, that was like the early 80s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed out on I don't know what I think because for me, like I watched like Nick at Night and stuff like that. So whenever I was watching it, they would highlight a lot of the shows from like the 50s and 60s and 70s, not really so much on the 80s because that was still considered new at the time, I guess.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that stuff never really got syndicated, and then it just kind of skipped that, and then everything that was on like ABC and NBC at the time was like heavily like after school syndication, like Home Improvement and Fresh Prince. So I got a good mixture of like old shows on Nick at Night from that 50s to 70s period, and then I got that 90s period, and then I just kind of missed a lot of the 80s stuff. So I know the names of it, but I'd never really watched a lot of it. So
yeah, I think I missed the 90s stuff.
Yeah.
I guess I was over it, you know.
Yeah.
So much television when I was a kid.
That's true.
Older, I just was like, it's not as good as the old stuff. I don't know.
Well, for me, I was a latchkey kid, so literally I would come home from school home alone for like 4 hours. So it was just like me and TBS. So, so I consumed all the Family Matters and Saved by the Bell, quality programming.
That's right.
And then let's see here. Just doing translations in the background, says Chester to Denali. Gamer B says hi. Who is Gary's favorite artist and superhero? That's from Keem.
Favorite artist? Wow, that's a hard one. I like a lot of different artists for different reasons, but I could just list off a bunch. I like, and not in any order. So John Byrne, Frank Miller, Alex Ross, Bill Sienkiewicz, Mike Mignola, Arthur Adams. I already said him. I like all those guys. Paul Smith, John Romita Jr.
Yeah, those are all good guys, man. Yeah. How about heroes? Is there a specific hero you like?
Oh, those were the heroes.
Oh, I see.
Heroes. I like the go-to heroes. I think that back in when the X-Men run with John Byrne, I really loved Wolverine back then.
Oh yeah.
From there on, he kind of seemed like he got more and more grittier. And the more and more grittier he got, I still like him, but there's some stuff that went on that I'm just like, that isn't Wolverine.
Yeah, they're pushing it too hard, making him like too feral and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I remember an issue of X-Men that John Byrne did and Chris Claremont wrote, and Storm was like, Wolverine was going to go out and he said, "I'm going to go hunting," and then she got like offended, like, "Oh, you're going to go and hunt an innocent animal?" And he's like, hunting is like you just being able to sneak up on the animal and like touch it, not kill it, you know.
Yeah.
It was Wolverine. It was more about the skill. It wasn't about that you could do it.
Yeah. He was just enjoying having access to all of these animal abilities without being savage, I guess.
Yeah.
That'd be the best way to describe it. Yeah, and I guess the push really came. I know Frank Miller's run was whenever they introduced like the whole like Japan backstory and all that.
Yeah.
And I mean that was kind of mixed though. Even at that point, he wasn't really too hardcore, was he? I don't really recall that being that off the rails.
Yeah, I don't know that it was, but even that wasn't my favorite Frank Miller stuff. You know?
Yeah. What would you say is your favorite Frank Miller work?
I really liked Dark Knight, and I really liked Daredevil, his run on Daredevil.
Yeah. What I find interesting is how there's a definite stylistic departure between the two, you know, like Dark Knight has a lot more, like the colorist and stuff is like really helped make it something special, I think, you know.
Yeah.
Because you know, like the regular Daredevil book was, you know, it was more your typical what you would see on the rack at the time. Like it was definitely still well made, but it didn't have like that same iconic punch that that the Dark Knight had, you know. Yeah. And I'm trying to remember who colored it. I'm blanking on it now, but I know that
Ben Varley or something.
Yeah.
Is that right, or is that somebody else?
I can't recall it. I don't have it in front. Like I don't know, but I know like for me, like the color choices on that book, I think really make a difference, and I think make me enjoy that all the more than, you know, when he would do a run on a regular ongoing series. Not right now, buddy. Got my kids crawling around me. All right, let's see. We have someone speaking Hawaiian, I think Denali is. Keem says, I can't hear it. I believe that's pertaining to the sawing that was going on. No, the sound is good, says Mango. So I'm doing Sumerian stuff now, is what Chester says. Oh, cool. Tales of Gilgamesh. Yes, but I'm just translating court cases and receipts. Marco says, I'm a huge Clint Fabry and Simon Beasley fanboy. They're the reason why I got into drawing and painting. Yeah, they're amazing. I just got the body count Ninja Turtle story that he did with Raphael and Casey Jones, and that's pretty hardcore. Pewdie Jr. says, I just got here, and wow, this is cool. So Pewdie, since you just hopped on, this is Gary Shipman. He has been. Oh no, you're good. He's been doing art for a good long time. I would consider him an industry pro. He is very humble, but I think he's incredible. He's doing. We're gonna have a stretch goal when we reach 2,000 on the campaign. We're gonna be doing 5 print giveaways of this image here, and I'll still be doing a giveaway of my original colored head sketch with that, but we'll just throw in 4 more prizes for other people too, so we have more people to have some fun with it. So, and that the campaign ends on Sunday, but there might be more stuff that follows after that. But by all means, let's try to push this thing as far as we can, as fast as we can, so we can have a nice, impressive number to wave around and say, hey, look what we did in 30 days. That's a lot of the fun with the campaign, is to be able to boast about what we did in a short amount of time. So
That's right.
yeah, let's see here. So he says, I was speaking Japanese. Marco says, yes, body count. Glad you picked that up. Yeah, it was really good. It was like a $30 book though, even though it's like a 4-issue thing. It's a hardback and it's really nice, but I don't know. I think they went crazy on that price point. The colorist, Keem says, was Lynn Varley. So is that who you said, Gary?
Yeah.
Well, then you were correct. You win a nice virtual handshake from me.
I'm right. I was right once. No.
I know. Well, you're right a lot, man. You just don't know it. So yeah, I mean, typically we talk about like books and stuff. I know you haven't really read anything recent. Like you've been out of the scene for a while, so I know that is going. So I would say, what's been some stuff you have enjoyed? We've touched on Daredevil and Frank Miller and things like that, but what's some other stuff you've really enjoyed?
Comic wise?
Yeah.
Let's see. I liked the Teen Titans with George Perez back in the 80s, with George Perez and Marv Wolfman.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked the late 80s, early 90s. I think he did Legion of Superheroes.
Oh, you're kind of lagging a bit, Gary. Can you hear me?
Sorry.
Oh, no, you're good.
Can hear you.
Are you still hear me? So, guys, if you don't know... Oh, I'm laggy here, too? Perfect. That's what I want. Evan. No. Yeah, Gary has issues with his internet quite a few times on his stream, so that does happen. We might need to restart it. On my end, is everything still real pixely too? Can you hear me at all?
You're sounding pixelated.
Okay. Well.
No, you're okay now.
Oh, we're good now? You guys hear me okay?
I think I can hear you pretty good.
Okay. We've kind of stopped in our chat here, so I don't know if they're all good. No one's really said one way or the other. You can still hear me all right, Gary?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess for me personally, like we touched on Jack Kirby, like Captain America is my favorite superhero, so I'd say one of my favorite runs of all time would, of course, be, the stuff that Jack did with Captain America. And I was that was the main one I appreciate just because that was, you know, my favorite hero. But I've since like went back and touched on Fantastic Four and the New Gods stuff and all that he did for DC and things like that. You know, but I would easily say like, his early Cap stuff I really loved. But what's fun though is when you go back and you reach back to like the Golden Age Cap stuff, you can definitely see even from that point there is a definite like skill. um uh I guess evolution would be the word you'd use there. But I mean, when he started, he was still good. But you know, when he was banging out that stuff in the '60s with him and Stan Lee and all that, like you could definitely tell by that point he was really confident in what he was putting down on the page, and he had developed more skills. So even though his stuff was great in those early days, it definitely became, I think, bolder and more iconic in the period in the '60s. What's fun though too is you can look and you can definitely see he had is like a lot of the same layout ideas. I believe I don't know if he was the person who originated the full page splash or not, but he may have been. Do you recall, Gary?
I don't know, but he invented everything else.
Yeah, yeah, he did. You know, he had a really good knack for pacing. You know, for having like he would have like he could pull off having like 12 panels on a page of, you know, a hero trading blows with a villain, and he would just make it look effortless. You know.
Yeah,
And we're hard pressed for that now. You know, we have to stretch stories out for 6 issues to get a 4 page double page spread battle that, you know, they're making for a movie screen but getting across on a comic page, you know. So I think the mindset has really kind of changed, involving the kinetics behind the movement of characters on a page, you know.
yeah,
It's still enjoyable, but I definitely it doesn't seem like the beats are as fast, you know. It's not as concise, if that makes any sense.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's some stuff that Jack Kirby did was just beautiful, like his Fantastic Four stuff. Some of
Mm-hmm.
it, um, it was there's I think I don't know if it was a cover or something that he did.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes his skill level, and maybe it was the inker that
Mm-hmm.
inked him, they just added like these embellishments on there, and the line quality was so good that it was like
Yeah.
this high art here, you know.
Mm-hmm. And
um,
then you remember when he would do like the photo collage type stuff too, where he had like Mr. Fantastic would be like floating through the galaxy or whatever. You can just see all these like circles and
yeah,
just nothing else like it you'd seen. It was just so interesting, you know?
yeah, yeah. He was really good, that's for sure.
He sure was.
And I didn't appreciate him back when I was collecting comics, like back in the '80s and '90s.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, oh, come on, this guy
Yeah.
learn to
Well,
draw a hand or something, you know, because he would knock out the shapes. And
yeah.
now I go back and look at it, I go, that is brilliant. It's just
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. And I mean, there are still people now who's just like, oh, he draws ugly faces or whatever, you know, but it's just like, I guess it's your opinion, you know?
Yeah.
But it's good stuff. I know towards like the later part of his career, though, he's definitely getting a lot of flack from people. So I don't know if that had anything to play off of it or not. But I know the main thing, the man was definitely dedicated to providing for his family, you know, so he would be very motivated to get his pages out.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of where his drive came from. He would literally spend like 14 hours at his drawing desk in his basement just hammering it out. I'm trying to charge my pad is trying to die on me now. So here we go. Here's another technical issue. Oh boy. You still with me, Gary?
I am.
Beautiful. But is anyone else?
Looks like we have 8 people watching.
Perfect. That's good. We're pretty low key. You usually have more people turn up for yours, but that's okay. You're a skilled man, so you get more people to pop out to yours. But you're up to how many subscribers do you have now? You're past 700 now, right?
Yeah, I think we're at like 710 maybe.
That's good.
Yeah, it's been growing. I've been surprised and pleased.
Yeah, if you guys haven't subbed, make sure at the end to go over to Gary's channel, which is just Gary Shipman. You type that in on YouTube. Should pull him right up, and it'll say Mr. G Shipman on his icon. And make sure to subscribe to him. You draw pretty much every day, right, Gary?
Yeah. There's some times when I don't.
Yeah.
Just because I need to take a break or
yeah,
other things come up.
Yeah.
Things like that.
But I know it seems like every time, like especially in the evening, typically every time I'll see you have a live stream going. So he puts out quality stuff, amazing artwork. He'll work on fan commissions, or sometimes you're still working on pages for your new relaunch of Packins Land, right?
Yeah, I've been doing that sort of off screen.
Oh, okay.
Just because.
Is it like a spoilery type of thing?
Well, I don't know if it's so much that. It's just I get sometimes I have to really focus, like especially getting the script down.
Yeah, that's true.
Really focus on what I'm doing there, so that it requires all brain function for me.
Yeah.
So that's mostly why.
Yeah, it's definitely it can be really hard to focus on multiple things at once. I know even when I was doing my drawing stream a couple weeks ago, I would draw for a bit and then stop and check the comments and then go back to drawing. So I know the struggle behind it. You hear me okay?
I do.
Okay, good. We almost had a child meltdown, so I wanted to make sure that wasn't broadcasted across the interwebs. You got some food, dear?
I do. The non-delicious shepherd's pie would fit in the thing, so I figured you wouldn't mind if it was deconstructed and not baked.
It's fine. Thank you, love.
Pie.
We had a very sad child moments ago. So I think we're okay now.
Did they need food?
No, they wanted to go somewhere. They were promised to go somewhere another day from another person in the house who is presently working on putting up drywall upstairs. So they're still occupied with that. So they're like, oh, they're sad they don't get to go wherever. So, but we're good. It's my 5-year-old daughter. So yeah. Looks like you're still inking away over there. We're working on the shadow.
Yep.
So did you note any of the inspirations in my comic at all, Gary? Did you catch the Easter eggs?
Well, I saw like when they were in a. Can I say it on here? Does it give the story away?
Yeah, maybe not say it, but the thing when they're the 10 years earlier part.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I was hoping you would catch that. So it's like most of the people who have read it haven't responded, but I guess they haven't really been, I don't know, that thing I referenced might not be keen on the younger people's minds. So I'm glad you got it. Yeah, I've only had you read it, and Edwin has read it. He never got back to me, unfortunately, but he's a very busy guy, so I understand that. And then here locally, I got it into 2 local shops. The main one that I've been going to for 5 years or longer, I guess now. It's just felt like 5 years. But Everett Comics, they're like walking distance from the Funko HQ, and then there's another one called Arcane Comics. So I got it into 2 stores, and in the future, I need to make the books $1 higher, because right now I am paying the stores 77 cents to carry my book and not seeing a dime on any of it. So, so lesson learned. Because they said, yeah, we're doing 50-50, and I'm just like, okay, good. And I was like, oh wait, no, that's I did the math, and it was costing me about $3.17 to produce each one. So
Yeah.
Which, it's a smaller print run, but I can't really take a gamble with, investing $500 into 250 copies of it,
Yeah.
But this company, I just found them this year. Comics Wellspring is what they're called. You can do print runs as low as 25 of them. And I got 40 books printed for like $121 or something like that. So not too bad. And, that's less than I spend on comic books a month. So I'm just like, surely I can start my own vain project and say, hey, I made some comics. So, but I wanted to share them with you guys too. So I, put up that Indiegogo, and, you guys showed up and supported me. So I'm really happy about that, and we'll keep it going for sure. It'll be an ongoing series, and it's gonna take a bit for stuff to happen. The first one really sets up like the I don't know, just like the moral characteristics of the main characters, really. So there's still a lot of legwork to go. And even by the end, some things are like, hey, that's kind of strange. That stuff will get addressed in the next one. So it'll literally pick right up where that page picked up. So it'll be fun. But yeah.
Cool.
Let me look at my check here. What is he drawing right now? He is drawing the bull. This is what the bull looks like. This is a full costume reveal, my friend. And you will see why the bull looks like how he does, and so on and so forth. He might be inspired by a hero you're familiar with. But yeah, I was inspired when I was little by that character, so I just decided to have my own little spin that I took on him. Chester says, I want to read it. It's coming, Chester. As soon as the campaign wraps, I will I should be getting my fundage next week sometimes, and then I will start printing immediately. The main thing was really I had a tier on there which is t-shirts, and that was really the piece I couldn't fulfill without having the money in hand. I could print the books all day long, I think, but trying to coordinate the t-shirt orders and stuff like that was the most difficult part. So so that was the main thing. I don't know if I'll keep doing more Indiegogos, or maybe, kind of have the first one be on there and then move it over to my personal storefront, because I do have a storefront. But this was just a good way to kind of go public with it, where more people would see it. But, I definitely want to share it with more people. So I know I think I've had about 40 orders on Indiegogo, or 38 or something like that. So, but hopefully when you guys get your copies, you'll be able to share them, and other people will want their own copies. And hopefully we'll have a way to facilitate that. And, if you're sharing it with kids, or, other people who you might think would appreciate it, we will have product to offer for them as well. So this is literally the start, and it doesn't get bigger without your support and your sharing of it. So hopefully every one of you will enjoy it. Some of you may not. I have I have emotionally thought about that piece of it as well. So I don't expect everyone to love it, but hopefully most of you will, and you'll share it with others, and we'll be able to get them product too. So. It looks like you're even adding more details in here than you had in the original rough, aren't you, Gary?
Well, yeah, I guess so. The rough's here too. You can see. I hope you can see.
Yes. I like how you have the more refined curves over like the eyebrows and everything like that. It's really cool. And that's actually the oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say that the first time I drew it, that was the first time, the sketch. Then after drawing it, certain things come to mind, like, oh, okay, do it this way instead, or add that. But that was always going to say.
Yeah, I like even how you've got the rounded shadow bubble there on the head. Like that's always been one of my favorite cowl shadings. So you've got all these really lovely elements to it that I really enjoy. So it's not even done, but I think the most frustrating thing for me is trying to fit the horns in. But that's obviously a very large part of the costume. So
yeah,
and that's part of the character I've decided to create. So. And it's a pretty major element. Without those horns, he's not really the bull, so.
That's right.
So whenever I was doing the head sketch, I'm just like, well, I'm going to have to shrink the horns in a little bit so they actually fit in frame, so. And it looks like you have more of a, I don't know if that's, I think the horn shape you've chosen is the more accurate and realistic horn, isn't it? That's typically how you'd see it on like an actual bull, right?
I don't know.
Because I know like on the one from mine, it's like they curve in a bit more, but I think yours looks...
They come in more?
Yeah, it's like it's almost a little bit like an S where it curves in and then there's a point that goes up. But yours look more realistic, like I think how you would see a typical creature. But I think I've seen them the way I've done them too. But this way, I don't know. This way, I like this way. You've chosen the shape of them. But yes, and then they match the emblem on the chest better as well. So, but whenever I had done it as a kid, it was like a jagged points. I don't know if you've seen these or not, Gary. I did when I was little. I did like hand drawn on notebook paper comics. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Oh, yeah.
And everything was very jagged. The points were just like there was more squared than rounded on them. So that was a piece I'm just like, we're not going that direction with it. So, but in the early days, they were squared off for some reason. I'm not sure why. But I think that was really my main departure. Because as a kid, I didn't really make that note, I guess. But I know bulls definitely don't have square, pointed horns like that. So. Keem says he likes both ways. This is going to be a great drawing. As you got 10 more subs in the last 2 weeks. Yes, I did. Well, I'm networking a lot, Keem. We've got a lot of people here who are supporting the online comic book community of creators who want to make better products than are being put out by the industry right now. And so we're being super supportive of each other, going on each other's streams, commenting on each other's videos. There's people like Ethan Van Sciver, Mike Miller, John Malin. I'm drawing blanks on everyone. There's Nasser Rabadi. He's a writer. Ben Hennessy with Cautionary Comics. There's a ton of them, but all of us, we are united in the cause to make better products into actually be available to come online and talk to and listen to fans, into make products we're proud of that we hope you enjoy, and we're going to be respectful to you, and we're not going to insult you and tell you if you don't like it, don't buy it. We're going to listen to criticisms, and we're going to try to put out the best products we can for you. So that's kind of, you know, the movement we're a part of. So
Well said.
thank you, sir. Did I leave anyone out that you can think of, by the way?
RT Bear.
Oh yeah.
I met him on Mike Miller's stream the other night. I really like it.
I know we have Mitch Breitweiser. He's a big one. His book is Red Rooster. I guess I can kind of list the books to look for. Is Red Rooster, Cyber Frog, Lone Star, Jawbreakers. What is it? Stardust is Nasser's one, right?
Yeah, there's a guy who did the worm thing.
Oh yeah. That's a fun one. What is it? Is it Bigfoot Bill, right?
Bigfoot Bill. There you go.
Yeah, the creator of Earthworm Jim is putting out his own book, Bigfoot Bill, and he's really fun. He's a very passionate, opinionated, conservative Christian man with a lot of big ideas, and he has a lot of fun. He's doing he's doing like a 6 or 8 hour road trip right now with one of his best men from his wedding. And so they keep popping in and doing some random live streams in their car where they're scarfing fast food and talking to people. So that's been fun. Yeah, there's tons of them though. Like I can't, if you go on Indiegogo and you just type in comics, you'll just see all these creators and all their projects, you know. So just go on there, do that. Mine has been kicked towards, I don't even know if it's anywhere on there because it hasn't had much interaction recently. But hopefully you guys will get the word out and we can change that for these last couple days and kind of get it where it's, I guess, on a heavier traffic again. But it's definitely it's doing well, and I'm glad that we've almost doubled from what my goal was, because the goal I set was really a safety net because I didn't want to have a failing project. But there was bits of me where I was even concerned that I wasn't going to get the 500. But I messaged Ethan on his channel to check out the book. And then within 20 minutes, everyone pitched in and funded it. So including Gary, he got a 6-pack of books for me. So, but I didn't expect, to have them do that in 20 minutes time and, remove the doubt in my head that I would meet that goal. So that was really cool. But, that's the joy of the community. We're all really supportive of each other, even if you do have fears and things like that. These guys are really supportive. So.
Yeah, that's where I heard it. I just happened to be on Ethan's stream that night. And I thought that what Cecil did, that really touched me. Because he was poking fun, and he said weren't so great. And I was just this guy isn't very cool. And then he turned it around and he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have did that."
Yeah.
And then he even went and supported you. I thought that was great.
Oh yeah. He didn't support me and unsupport me and re-support me like he did Nasser. So did you see what he did that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, whenever because there's a period where Nasser's like, well, I don't think he's very funny, and then he would just like while they were on the stream, he'd be like, you just refunded. What's going on? And then he would like support it again and then unfund it and then refund it.
Oh,
it was great.
Funny.
So they were
pretty funny, huh?
Yeah, they were getting a rise out of each other. It was great.
That's hilarious.
So Keem says, I bet you'll be at 500 in the next month. Well, we've already passed it. We're almost at 1,000 now. But if we get it to 2,000, we're going to give away 5 prints of this image here. And then I'm still going to do my full color head sketch to one of you. So, and I might even every 2,000 or 1,000 after that do another giveaway with another head sketch and maybe another print or something. I'm not sure, but
you haven't touched this.
we will see. Lone Star has a new perk for the 3rd variant cover. I did not know this. Have you seen this, Gary?
No.
I don't. I'll have to check that out later. And then EVS, he just relaunched Cyberfrog just for 7 days here with a different cover if you missed it before. And then they still have the, what is it, 1999? Is that the name of the ash can that's with it? Do you remember?
98.
Is it 90?
It was 98.
Yeah, I know it's somewhere in there. It's either 98 or 99, but it's like a prequel that sets up the new story, which it's not necessary, but it's like bonus stuff that helps make it better. So it says that's only because Nestor's Cecil's. Yeah, that's what I would say. They were just picking on each other and having fun with each other.
Was that in the chat?
Oh no, Denali was saying. Oh, and Denali says it's the
Hi,
the 98 ash can. So I knew it was one of the two.
Bethany's here too, and Denali, and I'm glad you guys are here. Cool.
Oh, let's see here. They also mentioned that they said EBS funded the guy who's selling Brandon, had him funded in 20 minutes. He's tried twice to fund his book. Ethan does a great job. So. Yeah, and then the day after when they funded me, they got I think it was Blue Mamba. They like raised $5,000 for it and got it funded the next night. So, yeah, they're all about making sure people's projects are successful. So even with us little guys who just literally showed up to say, hey, I want to be a part of this, they've even supported us. So. We're not pulling in the huge numbers that a lot of the pros are, but that's okay. I didn't expect to, clean up and get 500,000 like Ethan did either, and he's been doing this for 25 years in the business too. So, but this is my first showing, and I know I have a long way to go, but I hope that you all will join me on that journey and see the growth. And if this thing does become a household name in 5 or 10 years or whatever, that first issue is going to, it's going to be something that's good now, but it will be even better to have in the future. So. Always says aloha to Humphrey Bear and aloha to Gary Shipman. Does that mean she's signing off or he's signing off? Oh, and get Amphibrinox ash can as well with the $50 tier. And I don't know what that is. Have you heard about that? There's like another Cyber Frog thing.
No.
Yeah, there's supposed to be another ash can too, but I don't know what that one is. I know he's kind of explained the 98 ash can, but I don't know about and I can't pronounce it either. Amphibrinox? I know it's like amphibian or something like that, but yeah. And I like how you have captured the shading on the costume too. I know how I have it shaded in the book is definitely not really considering light source, but with mine, that's how I used to do it as a kid. So I wanted to reflect that image as earnestly as I could to call back to when I did it when I was younger. So
yeah,
because he's literally, it's like every single muscle has like black in the middle of it, but it looks fun. So I know it's not lighting accurate, but that was just kind of my way to personally reference it to myself, if to no one else, how I used to do it. So, because if you look back at all my early stuff, that is exactly how I would do it. But his costume is actually brown. It's like a middle shade of brown, and then I just put heavy shadows all over it to make the accentuate the muscles and make it pop. So. But there will be more fun Easter eggs as the series goes. So hopefully you all will catch them as they come up. And by all means, when you read it, feel free to let me know that you've seen something and appreciate it, because it's fun for me to let you know, or to know that you guys are in on the jokes. So Bethany says, I'm so broke right now. It totally sucks since I can't support anyone right now. Bethany, that's okay. Like I said, we will have a way for you to get a copy of the Bull later. But we're just trying to push it right now. But if you want a copy of the Bull, we'll have them available later for you. But that'll be our little secret for right now. Denali says, it's probably because the more indie guys are high risk for fulfillment, and the pros usually has better track records, so people take higher chances. Well, I mean, I know for me personally, like, you know, and I preface it in the video and then all over the campaign. I'm just like, look, guys, I know I'm not polished, so I don't want people to pick up the book and just be like, what in the world? Like, it's kind of, the point of it is kind of for people, especially if you're a kid, to pick it up and say, hey, I can make a book too. And I've had that experience already happen when I've sold it locally here and shared it with people, especially the younger kids. They have picked up the book and they have started to work on their own products. So the book is doing what I have set it out to do. Because for me, I don't want anyone else to sit on an idea for 30 years before they publish a book. I want someone to be inspired and to be able to go to the Comics Wellspring site, which there's even an ad for it in the back of the comic. Go in there and get your book printed. It's super affordable, and you can have your dream realized too, to print your own books. So, can you still hear me okay, Gary?
I can.
Okay, good. I had another thing come unplugged because why not, right?
Hey, it's live. Why not?
I know.
Go for it.
I'm surprised I haven't had like a wall fall on me or something.
Yeah, that would happen in mine.
Yeah. So it's weird. So are you still streaming this from your phone right now, Gary, or do you have another device rigged up?
This is from my iPhone.
So that's weird because when Ben had me on his show for like the last 10 minutes, I think it was Monday, he sent me a link on Facebook Messenger and I clicked on it and it would not allow me to join from my phone. So I had to pull out my tablet and try to do it from there. So I don't know why it did that, because I mean, and that was my thing. I'm just like, well, as long as I have the link, I should be able to click it and hop in, as long as I'm not the administrator, you know, because this, like, yeah, I know you need the pad for all like the controls and everything that I have on the stream. Yeah. But which is ironic because I can't see half of it for whatever reason. But so I'm not sure. And so I had like my kids' like little tiny headset on, and I was unsure if anyone could even really hear me very well. And I had a really horrible camera from the Surface on there too, and so that's why the next day I'm just like, okay, I'm using my Amazon gift cards. So the next day, like not even within like 12 hours, because we're in the Seattle area kind of, so everything from Amazon you pretty much get within the next day or something like that. So, which is really nice for art stuff. We can order like Prismacolor pencils and things like that. You could run out of a color you needed and then it'll show up like, 4 hours later on your doorstep. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it sounds cool.
Yeah.
They're starting to build all these Amazon like warehouses everywhere.
I know. I think we have two of them in Seattle, even though like that's like the big epicenter. Like they still have more than one even there, which is weird.
Yeah.
Let me see here. I got to read the comments a little bit. Bethany says, awesome. I maybe that's about what I said about printing your own book. I'm not sure. So it's 3 minutes ago. And Amphibionics is an extra Cyberfrog comic book that was unlocked in the original campaign. So physical backer for $50 tier and a higher get 3 comic books. Well, unfortunately, I only got the $25 tier, so I don't have that perk yet. But I might back it if I can get that other tier. Maybe, I don't know. And when I was talking about fulfillment, it wasn't about the drawing, but actually delivering the comic book. Well, mine is 100% done, so you don't need to worry about it. I have already printed the first run, and I have like maybe 8 copies left of it. So I already previewed it. It's fantastic. I'm very proud of it. And the only difference in the future, the cover price will be higher for local shops. For online, I'll probably still offer it for $5, but for people in shops, it'll have to be $6 because I can't go in the negative when this thing is in the stores. So, let's see here. Everyone, I'm copywriting the names Packy, Tiny Man, and the Toad. Says Keem. Denali says, Jake, you need the app for Messenger on your phone. Otherwise, you'll be facing the issue as you mentioned. Well, I have Messenger on my phone. Like I said, I'm very non-tech savvy. So you did yours, like when I sent you the link on your phone, you just clicked on it. Is that right, Gary?
Yes. You
Yeah.
sent it to me through Messenger. Well, you sent it to me as an email first, and I had like 80 unread emails. I'm like, oh no.
Okay. And I was freaking out because it wasn't letting me copy paste it. It was like Control C, Control P. I'm like, I did that. It's not posting. So it's freaking out.
Yeah.
Because my keyboard was dead.
It's so weird. Everything always like converges. All the problem converges to the moment you go live.
Out. But I mean, I'm having a good time. This is going really well.
Yeah, I'm having a good time too.
Good. Maybe if we figure it out, we'll do more of them in the future.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Team logs, I believe those names are already copyrighted, says Denali. Bethany says, nice. Amazon is starting to take 3 days to get to my house. Keem says, probably. Jake, speaking of those pencils, I watched Billy Tucci use them up in single drawing. He was penciling a variant cover of Miss Fury. Yeah, they can. You can definitely use them up really fast. They have really soft lead in them, but they're weird because they have different types of pencils too. The ones I use, I'm trying to remember. I think they're the Premier ones, but they have like kind of a wax coating on them, and they're really bright. Like they have other ones, but they are not quite as accentuated. Yes, here's the ones I use here. This is the Premier. And I guess there's another one too. It's called like Prismacolor. Like I'm trying to remember. It's like something to do with school. I'm trying to remember what it's called. But they have like they say it's a lower grade one that's specifically for schools. But there's really not much of a difference. Only like I guess it's not as bright, but they're still pretty bright. So I don't know. But the first time I got acquainted with Prismacolors, I was doing a recreation of the Captain America annual painting from I think it was 2002 maybe. It was an image where it was like a painting of Captain America and it had like the red skull behind him and there was like an American flag. It was really cool looking, and so I did like a grid of it and replicated that image as best as I could from the tiny comic book cover, and I made like this huge poster of it. So I went through like, it seemed like hundreds of like red, white, and blue colored pencil, and white was what I used to blend most of it to give it that kind of painted feel. So it was really cool. Wow. But unfortunately, back in the day, I really just gave my stuff away. So I don't even have it anymore, even though I spent tons and tons of hours on it. The teacher displayed it in the classroom, but a little fun fact, I am a Katrina victim from Hurricane Katrina, and I left for college the day before it hit, and pretty much everything that was over there, which I grew up in Ocean Springs, got pretty well destroyed. So most of that early stuff I made, like that being a prime example, got destroyed, floodwater, flood damage. So I was fortunate enough when I went to college that I had my little binder with my 3 comics in it, or I wouldn't have had those either. But my earliest drawings I did when I was like 4 years old and all that, those are totally 100% destroyed. So that's why I have the earliest image is age 7 of him. So,
wow.
Yeah. But it's been okay. You know, I've had a lot of good things happen. You know, you can't have the good without the bad in life. So, and I'm sure you read my little blurb in the front of my comic too. That you know, yeah, there's definite things in life that can easily like turn you bitter or make you angry or whatever. But I chose to embrace those things, to humble myself and to be optimistic rather than to be angry. So that's really for me. And even personally, whenever I started getting into like the concept of Christianity and everything was right after my dad died, which was the day before Thanksgiving of 1999. So even though that was a negative thing, in a way it was good because, you know, it had me thinking about the afterlife and making those choices to where I did become a Christian afterwards. So if my dad had lived a long, long life, who's to say I ever would have been led to Christ? Or if I had, it would have been much, much later. So, but so there's little nuances like that you think about. So life is funny like that.
Yeah, it is.
So you've created like a shine on those horns, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's sweet. I like it. I dig it.
Yeah.
You're unlocking all these extra cool elements to the bull. So I'm like, those are some really nice touches. For the longest time, for whenever I was redoing it, there was a period where he was literally going to get the suit and make cosmetic changes to it to turn it into this costume. And he was going to have like is it PVC? Is that the name of like the plumbing pipe?
Yeah, I think so.
He was going to have like horns made from like plumbing pipes that he had fashioned from his house. Instead of the costume already being fully made, he was going to do some modifications to the cowl to turn it into this. So, but I chose not to go that direction. So, but I like the horns better like this than having them be PVC pipes. So, and eventually he would have upgraded and gotten, you know, a better suit, but I just didn't want to have him with those weird pipes instead of his horns. So, because he already doesn't have any powers to start. So already people ask, what's his powers? I'm just like, well, he doesn't have any powers right now, but he gets powers. So, but you know, there's lots of great heroes who don't have any powers. So
That's right.
you've got so many cool things going on with this drawing. All the little ink touches here. And look at that. Look at the detail to the emblem on the belt. Just fantastic. Let me look back at my chat here. Denali says, if you're showing us the pencils, the screen is locked on Gary. Oh, I see. So is that from earlier? That's okay. Gary's thing is really the star of the show right now, because this is the focal point, as he's doing this for the campaign. And I have showed off my stuff before, and I actually did a video way when I first moved here, like back in, I think it was 2012. I had a channel that I chose not to do anything with after a while. That is just Jake the Artist, and on that channel I have like blurbs where I had done a full like page by page turn of the of those original issues. Actually, on the on my phone, I'm logged into that, so I can just say check out this channel, I guess, for those in the comments. So here we go. I'm doing it. My channel for and then I have a random Billy Joel program flip through I did on there too. That was a good time. I subbed Billy Joel at a at Safeco Field like 2 years ago. That was a good time. Yeah. And I sang like every single song that he sang, except for like one of them. But I had like the worst seats, but I think I had the best time out of anyone at the show. So, Everyone else is like trying to capture things on their phone, but you know, that never works out when you do that. So everyone's like sitting there trying to look through the concert on their phone. And it just didn't work out. So I was just singing, having a good old time. And I went by myself because no one in my house is a huge Billy Joel fan besides me. So, but it was fine. I was just literally the lone guy in the nosebleed seats singing every single Billy Joel song. So it's a good time.
Yeah, my daughter recently went to Wrigley Field in Chicago to watch a baseball game.
Mm-hmm.
She had the opportunity to go do that, and she said that the people she went with were saying, take pictures and all this stuff. And she's like, because she's heavy into photography, and she said, you know, she says, like, there's a time to take pictures, and then there's a time to just enjoy what you're experiencing.
Exactly. Yep.
And I thought that was really mature of her. She was a young teenager.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was interesting, and I agree. You know, you're holding up a camera all the time, trying to catch or capture your memory when you can just have a memory. Of it sometimes. I think that's the best.
Precisely. Yeah, and actually my wife does photography. It's more like she babysits during the week, and then when I come home and then on the weekend, she's pretty much shooting like weddings and stuff all the time. So she'll do unplugged weddings where basically like there's no phones allowed. And then like even on her Facebook, she shared like images of people, not at weddings she's done, but other weddings where people didn't have that rule, and you just see a sea of people like holding up their cameras like in the background with their flashes going off while, like, you know, they're trying to get married on the stage or whatever. So it definitely makes a difference. So let's see here. Bethany says the school one isn't as pigmented as the professional ones. You're correct, Bethany. Aaron Everest says, hey, question mark, exclamation point, question mark. Do you know Aaron, Gary?
Aaron who?
Aaron Everest.
I know some Aarons, but I don't know if I know an Aaron Everest.
Okay.
I'm not super good with names.
Alrighty. I don't think I've ever seen him before. So welcome, Aaron, if you're still here, hopefully.
Yes.
Bethany says, lol, plumbing pipes. I know, that was my exact thought, which is why I didn't do it. Mango says, hey, Aaron. Keem says, lol, him crawling in an air duct. Who's crawling in an air duct? Oh, are you talking about the bull doing that with the pipes, Keem? And then I have my comment says, check out my channel for old bull footage. You still hear me okay, Gary?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, sometimes on the headset it'll almost create like this little like slight, it almost sounds like a vacuum sound. Like there's like the absence of sound because they're kind of noise canceling, I guess.
Yeah.
So I can't tell if like like I'm losing, like it's deciding not to register the headphones in those brief instances, or if I'm just out of my mind, which is very likely. So, but these are good headphones. I wanted to splurge, but like I said, I just had a bunch of gift cards, so I was like, I'm gonna do some things to jazz up the stream. It's for the channel, and then I got a ring light 2 weeks ago for that, so that's the ring light I'm using. And then I got a little thing for my Surface. I have the bad habit of just leaving my hand on the page or the screen when I'm drawing on the Surface. So I got a little glove thing to put on my hand.
Yeah.
So, but there's still a learning curve to the digital stuff. I like producing stuff physically. I'm just old and traditional like that, you know.
So what is the ring light thing? My daughter was telling me about it.
Yeah, so it's one that is typically used for like makeup tutorials, and it like evenly lights things. So if I'm looking right at the camera here, you can see like in my glasses, but I'm trying to look and see, but you'll see like a ring reflecting.
Oh, yeah.
It's like an actual ring shaped light. And what's cool is this one, it actually has different settings. There's like a blue light, a white, and then a yellow, and then you can dim it or make it brighter. So it's really cool.
Okay, I thought what it was a ring, and then you place the ring around your lens. You know, like, see where my hands are? Like
Let me get back on. Yeah,
like
yeah.
you take the ring and put it around, like, through your lens. So when your lens shoots down through the ring, you get really good lighting. I didn't understand it. I guess it's just a light that's in the shape of a ring, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think you probably could get one like that. Maybe that you could like screw onto the back of your phone or something.
Yeah.
That I know they have like fisheye lenses and stuff. This one is literally, and it has like a little. I got a 2-prong one, which I didn't actually need. I just needed the light itself, but it has like there's like a thing attached to it, and then there's another part where you can actually stick your phone or whatever. But I already have another tripod or another. I don't know what you want to call it, but I already had another thing that I was already using to elevate my phone prior when I would do like readings on my channel and stuff like that. So I already had an established look of an overview of the book shot where it would point down at the page. And my setup, it's literally, I have these little like pull out storage drawers and that my clothes and stuff are in, and I just tucked the little rod into there with the clip, and then I just attached my camera to it. So it's a very unsophisticated setup, and it looks like Dr. Octopus is crushed amongst a bunch of folded shirts in my drawer, but that's my studio setup. So
Cool.
yeah. I used to try to do it in my garage, but then like there was a period when I was recording in there and there was actually a mouse in there while I was recording, and then I got freaked out and I never went in there again. So
my light was glaring on that big time. I didn't notice that.
Well, it looks great now.
Yeah, I moved the light. So yeah, I'm done.
Okay, that looks fantastic, Gary. So here it is. This is going to be made into a print when we get to 2000. And we will have 5 of these lovely things to give away, as well as a full color head sketch from me. So we'll try to boost it up as much as we can. And Gary, will you make the original available on your store?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, and that's typical. They usually go for, what's the price range on it in case someone's interested?
They're usually in the price range of about something like this is just the one character. The other ones I did, I put some Packins Land characters in there too. I didn't do that with this one because it wasn't sure what you were going to do with it.
Yes.
If you wanted to use it as a cover or whatever you were going to do. I left room for a logo if you wanted to do that. It's your choice.
Yep.
But they usually run about 200. This one would probably be about 100, but they usually about 125, 150, depending on how many characters are in there.
Very nice. Yeah, that looks great. I'll definitely feature that for the Bowl number 2 cover. I don't know if you'd like to color it as well. If not, I could probably color a print of it if I wanted to go that route. As I definitely appreciate you just doing this out of the goodness of your heart to support me and the Bowl.
Yeah.
So really nice.
I felt what you were trying to do. I feel like having a dream and having one as long as you've had it.
Yeah.
Just to be a part of that, to fulfill that, it's awesome, you know.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh, go ahead, Gary.
No, I was just gonna say, we can talk, later and stuff about things, and I'm gonna sign out from there, I guess.
Okay, and I will leave links to all of your good stuff. I'll look on a previous video to post your store link and all of your good stuff so they know where to go. Gary's a amazing talent. Go check out his Facebook page, sub his YouTube channel. He wants to keep growing it, as we all want to grow all of our stuff. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining me, and check out Gary and make sure to
also
back
I'm gonna go live on my channel now. If people want to hop over there, they can, or if they want to stay here, if you're going to continue, I don't know.
Okay.
But either way, just letting everybody know, I will be going live here in a minute on my channel.
All right, so go join Gary over there. I'm going to hop off. I typically just do these for an hour, but we did longer so Gary could have the completed piece. But we'll see you over there. I'll be in the chat, but Gary will be running the show over there. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good day. If
Thanks,
you're
Jake.
watching this in the future, good night. Bye. Thank you.